What's going on, y'all? Okay, so this may be probably a short video. It really wasn't much going on in the news um this week. This is what it is. What I am more concerned about is the fact that now I guess it's starting to get out there about the Bring Our Girls Home, the thing that's been happening in Nigeria with the Boko Haram, the Islamic extremist group who kidnapped all those girls. And at the time, it was like 200. At first, when I first heard about it, when I very first heard about it, it was 200 girls. Then it went up to 230 girls. Then at one point, it was 276 girls. And then now they're saying it's like damn near 300 girls. And I was like, what the hell? And no one's done anything that much. We haven't heard about it in the media as much as we should have. And now we have President Obama speaking on it. And then I think Katie Couric did a little special about it. You have Michelle Obama with the paper holding up with a picture that says "Bring back our girls." If you didn't know what it's about, it's a shame. It's saddened that it's literally, you feel like it's still taking a back seat. And more people need to be talking about it instead of being on, these networks and being so much concerned about stuff that who gives a shit about entertainment. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about it, but who cares? It's not even important, but we're talking about something that's life changing, that's life or death situation that's happening over in another country that can damn well happen over here. Like stuff in our own country, that does happen. People do get kidnapped. People do get, killed. People do get raped. People do, even in the United States, they get sold into sex slavery. They get forced into marriages and stuff like that. But, and even those little small instances we don't really hear too much about, but it does happen. And then, when you hear something like this that's happening on a large scale with the mass amount of numbers that's coming out of the people that's being taken, the girls being taken, and they're being taken from a school, why isn't there more outrage? It's disheartening. It really is. And then we have this Nigerian actress, Stella DeMarcus. I think that's her name, DeMarcus or Damascus, one of those. She gave this video because it was like right after I posted the video last week, and I spoke on it. I think the very next day somebody tweeted me the video for Stella, and I'm looking at it, and she was like very well spoken. And when I mean by well spoken, she had all her thoughts together and it flowed, and she had her facts, she had all her key points, and it was very convincing. And it was just like she knew what the hell she was talking about, and you could tell she was passionate about it, and you could tell that she wanted something to be done about it. And look, I can't help but laugh. No, this is not why I'm laughing. See, Beyonce done fucked us up. Okay, let me tell you something. Not Beyonce, but because Beyonce put, what's her name, Chickamauga, the girl on Flawless. When she put her on there and she started, we teach girls to, that every time I heard her talk, that's all that I kept thinking. Like that accent. I was like, look what this hoe did. But I'm just, put that aside. Because every time she spoke, I just wanted to say, we teach girls to shrink themselves. That's why don't we tell the men? I don't know why. I had just had a silly moment, but still, we need to get that message out there. And I really do hope. I think that the United States is supposed to be doing something, bringing some enforcements out there. I heard that they want like the elite Navy SEALs to come out there. The people who did the invading of the what's his name? Osama bin Laden's compound, the Black Hawks. Those people to come, girl, want them to come out there. Excuse the interruption, but I don't know. It's just it just irks me because at this time We have we're hearing all about this, especially at this season right about now. There is a lot of things that's going on in our own country. You know, we have people and kids graduating for either middle school, high school, colleges, and, you know, going on, about to go on and do great things and whatever. And then, you know, people here taking education for granted. And then you have people in other countries who can't really get the education that they need, especially if they're a woman. They're discriminated against. They're not supposed to get educated or whatever. They leave that education to the men. And we over here taking that education factor for fucking granted. And then you got these girls that simply trying to become something in life and do better for themselves and their family, getting their education, taking it seriously, and they get taken. They get taken. I just I don't want the outcome to be that these girls wind up being forgotten about and being lost or being killed. It's like the longer that it's taken to do something about it, like put a full force plan into action, the situation and the results just looking very, very not good. And I just want something to happen. It's just disheartening. But that's a little update on the Bring Back Our Girls movement, the Nigerian schoolgirls. Hopefully something happens for the best. Um, and speaking of some good stuff, you know, like I did say, it's graduation season, it's prom season. Girl, did y'all see Batgirl? That shit was all over my timeline last night. I was right about to go to sleep, and I said, "What the fuck is this?" She literally had a bodysuit on, and it was from the legs to the sides to her arms like a fucking bat. And she was literally standing there like she was finna go hang gliding or some shit. She was dead ass serious. I said she really went to prom like that. And she was there by herself. Because one, girl, no, we ain't going there together like this. You got enough material for two people so you can pull that shit off. She was crazy for that one. But it's graduation season too. So I hope y'all in college, if y'all about to take finals or if you did finals, I hope you did great. I hope you're going to do great. And shout out to everyone who's graduating or has graduated already. There was this girl, I think her name was Grace. I can't remember. But following along the trail of a lot of reports about, you know, kids, especially of African American descent, you know, doing really great. First, we had the Quasi guy who got accepted to all 8 Ivy League schools. Then we had the Avery Coffee guy who got accepted to 5. Then we had the teen in Oakland who got a 5.0 GPA and got accepted to a whole bunch of Ivy League schools too. Now we get this girl Grace, I think that's her name. Girl, she graduated. She got her high school diploma and her college degree in the same damn week. You better do that shit. I couldn't. And she's only 16 years old. And she started taking these classes when she was 13. Girl, kudos to you, because Ashley, at a certain point, I really did love school, but then by the time I got to college and when it was getting down to the wire where it was time for me to go, my enthusiasm for it was just like, oh shit, I'm just drained. I'm ready to go. I'm tired of this shit. Let me get up out of here. But you stuck it in there and you did them things back to back at the same congruently. Bitch, come on now. That is something. You don't hear nothing like that these days. Not a lot. But congratulations to you. That was a good little note. Um some disheartening news. Unfortunately, I gotta give y'all this before I get into the other stuff. We have this story about this 8-year-old boy who basically was trying to save his sister. He was trying to protect his sister. And it's not even about protecting. He was just doing what anybody who saw somebody in need and help would have done. Anybody with a heart would have done. And because that was his blood, it probably even made him want to do it more. They was outside playing, him and his 12-year-old sister, and this boy came over tried to sexually assault the sister, and I think he did wind up raping her. But the little boy, 8 years old, tried to come over and protect his sister, and the guy, he got pissed off at him, started, because he was trying to protect and intervene and stop what was going on. He beat the little boy, hit him in the hit him in the head with a brick, strangled him, and all that stuff. He wound up passing away, all because he was trying to protect his sister, save his sister from being hurt and all that stuff. The sister, at first, they said that they was looking for a straggly, rough-looking white male in the area or whatever who did it. Come to find out, that was a lie because the sister was scared. That was the story that the boy told them to say. She was scared of him. It was fear. Come to find out, it was a 16-year-old black kid. What the hell? Sid, that is just, what is going on in your head? Kids hurting kids for no reason. I just want to know what was the motive. I really do. Because you saw somebody that was smaller than you, younger than you, and you felt like, hey, let me exert my power over you. So therefore, this little nigga ain't going to do nothing. So I can kill him and still do what I got to do. So now you're about to be charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder and rape and all that stuff and all this other shit. So now your little few minutes of fucking pleasure or power that you trying to make yourself feel important or whatever, now you finna get your life taken away too. So now the way that you banged that girl and fucked her over and assaulted her and did all these disgusting things to her, I hope that shit happens to you tenfold in jail. Tenfold in jail. Bitch, somebody put on my timeline a few weeks ago, it was a picture of this inmate, and it was like he was bleeding, and he only had some drawers on and some shoes on, and he had bandages. I'm sorry, this is about to get graphic because this is along the same subject. He had these gauzes on where he was beat up or slashed or whatever, attacked on his back, and it was multiple of them. Multiple of them. He was just looking. He got his ass beat up. Bitch got raped by 20 inmates. Gang banged. And it was blood in his drawers. And I was like, see, y'all want to do all this bad shit and be bad on the street, trying to make it seem like you somebody. Oh, I can do this or I can do that. Let me exert myself. Let me do this. Let me go rob somebody. Let me go kill somebody. Let me go shoot somebody. Let me go stab somebody. Let me go do all this shit. Let me go rape somebody. But then when you get up in jail, it's going to all happen to you. You want that to happen? People don't, like I said in the last video, people don't look at the long-term consequences. They look at the short-term. Then you get up in jail and you're going to be wishing that you wasn't. And you're going to be wishing that you didn't do what you did to put you there. Niggas just don't think. People don't think in general. People don't use the common sense or the God-given sense that was given them. Sad. I got to get my head down. This shit is just... It's trying to get a wash. But, moving on to some slightly... It really wasn't that much entertainment news. Okay. Because I'm about to go. I want to get this stuff. They say Augustus. I always want to call August Alsina Augustus. He got on 106 Park, I guess. I never saw it. And reports coming out saying basically that he took part of the blame for the reason that shit was going on and what happened at 106 Park when he went on there and told old girl, so, you just gonna go against the grain, huh? I told y'all before I got out here not to ask me that shit. Bitch, that is a classic ass line. It was fucked up in this sense because, a man coming at a little girl, because compared to him, she a little ass girl, height-wise and all that stuff. And he just talked down to her like that. I was just like, August, don't do that, boo. But it was hilarious to me. But at first, he didn't want to take no responsibility. He was just like, it is what it is. I don't give a shit. But I guess now he is, and I guess grow up, mature, because you're trying to fuck up your brand if you don't. I'm just saying, you can't come out as a new artist with these fucked up attitudes. And I understand you don't want to be asked certain things, but hey, it is what it is. This is media. Lesson learned. Don't do it again. You can't say and do all these things that you want to. Etiquette. Media training. So, I saw the Breakfast Club interview with Tiana Taylor. And for some reason, it actually made me like her a little bit more. Like, I didn't dislike her, and I wasn't like a huge fan of hers or whatever. It was like either if I heard something about her, oh, it's whatever. We always heard about, she was on the Star Trek label with Pharrell. We first seen about Tiana Taylor when she came out on MTV's Sweet 16. Then she got signed to Pharrell's Star Trek label. Then she had that song out, Google Me. And then it was like, where's the goddamn album? She had all these false starts or whatever to the music. And I guess now it was more so contractual reasons and things that, like she said, she got all this music that she can't release yet. She said, I got over 50 songs and I can't release that shit. Other than that, I didn't care enough to dwell deep into her life or to even be checking for her like that. Until all of a sudden, the little beef that she had with Rihanna, that was the talk of the town for about a week or so, and in turn, she lost her shoe endorsement deal with Adidas and things of that matter. And, when they asked her about that, she didn't blame Rihanna. She didn't blame anybody. It's like God put stuff in your life for a reason and God take it away for a reason. And there you go. Actions and consequences. I just like the fact that she wasn't blaming no one about, her losing that deal and all that stuff. But apparently there's this little love triangle, whatever, that's going on between her, Brandon Jen, and Tay Hackett. Bitch, I didn't know anything about this until I just clicked on the interview. Apparently, he was downplaying their relationship. They was in a relationship for years, and at one point, they were engaged. 2 years ago, she gave him her virginity and all that stuff. Tay Hackett, whatever the fuck. She was her friend, been her friend since she was like 17 years old, and started dating her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend, who she's with now. And so Tiana got a problem with it. I mean, I guess if you into that girl code, I can understand that shit. Don't date my ex. And then don't try to sneak behind my back about it. And, you're 30. She said, I didn't know Tay Hackett. Is Tay Hackett really 36 years old? I didn't know she aging good, though. She aging real good if she is. But, she had receipts. She had text messages and everything. And I was like, so I don't really know how I felt about her putting it out there like that. I'm just not here for a lot of people when they put their personal business out there like that, and then it's on the borderline that you don't know what the result's going to be. Is it going to die down, or is it going to continue a beef or start some more drama or whatever? But hey, Tiana, you do you. You seem like you in a good place or whatever. She with her little boyfriend. If y'all saw the interview, it's on the Breakfast Club YouTube channel. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it, because I can't really go deep into it because I don't follow these people like that. It's not enough for me to care about. But as long as the person is happy, and if you don't want to fuck with her, don't fuck with her. Let this. I'm glad she said this is gonna be the first and the last time I speak about it. So therefore, I guess that's why she put everything out there, because she was like, don't make no mistakes. This is what I said. So if you want to ask some questions on it, refer to this. But it is what it is. Breakfast Club also did earlier today with an interview with Sunday Carter from Basketball Wives, LA. And let me just say this. That interview did not make me like her. It really didn't. She just came up there. She had an arrogant attitude, as if everything that she's did and she's done, well, that's the same thing, or will do, or was about to do, was justified. Like, she don't care at the fact that she was portrayed on TV, and she's still claiming that she wasn't the one that put, oh yeah, bitch, it's time to get this shit done. She's still claiming that she wasn't the one that put her daughter out there on blast like that. I don't believe it. She kept on saying, her daughter, she at this point when that happened, she had ran away from 90 days and all this stuff. 90 days. She said it like 3, 5 times up in that shit. And my whole thing is, you want to come down on other people, but your shit. And she was just talking mad shit about everybody, like Erica Mena, they did bring up the drag situation. Charlamagne said something about Malaysia and how her people they brought up how her people was all up in the audience or some shit like that, and said you don't want nothing with Malaysia because Malaysia from Compton, and then Sunday was like, no, Malaysia don't want it with me or some shit like that. I don't give a fuck where she from, bitch. I'm like, she just. It was like, why did y'all interview her? She was just pointless to me. And I was mad that I sat here and watched the whole thing. I thought, I would see a change or whatever after you go back and you rewatch the season and you see your actions and be like, man, it was fucked up for me to do that. They asked her about the cancer comment, and it took her 5 to 10 minutes for her to actually say, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Like, what? What? Really? And, you want to talk about everybody else, but why is it that your daughter, you talk highly of yourself? I'm a humanitarian. I'm an entrepreneur. I do this and I do that. They didn't show my this and they didn't show that. The only thing that I really regret that they really didn't show and people didn't really get to see who Sunday Carter is. But you allowed yourself to do that. You weren't put in place into nothing like that. You didn't portray yourself as you was doing humanitarian work or you was this great mother or you was this great person. No, on the show all you was doing was being a fucking lackey. And she did say if the show comes back, she gonna be on the next season. Bitch, please, I'm not really here for it. And it is what it is. My thing of it is like, hmm? My thing of it is like this. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, she talking about shit, and I'm feeling her like, so what exactly was going on in your family that made your daughter want to run away? Your parenting skills and all that stuff when you want to talk about down about everybody else. And then, kind of find out her daughter did run away, but it was to her boyfriend's house. I would have figured that shit out right then in the morning, right then. But she talked about some, what she wanted to show is her family and they so dysfunctional and my son is dysfunctional. Like everything that she was talking about, it's not uplifting your daughter and I mean you did say, okay, yeah, she's on tour, my kids are talented and they do this, but every other sentence about your kids, the daughter, she ran away, she was with the boyfriend and talking about the picture. And then you're talking about how, dysfunctional your son is, and you saying this with pride, like you really want people to see this. Why would you want to put your air your dirty laundry like that? So you're gonna sell your soul just to get a little exposure? Okay. Goodbye, Sunday Carter. I'm not really here for you. Never really was. Um, there's this picture that was going around, or a thing that happened with Willow Smith and Mosaius Arias, bitch. I don't know how you say that shit. But he's 20 years old. Y'all know Willow is 13. He was in the bed by the wall, by a window. It looked like he was looking out the window or laughing or some shit like that. And the only thing that was bad about it was he had his shirt off and Willow was laying in front, not even by him, not even touching, with her clothes on. She was just laying on the bed, looking like she was looking in the camera, like she was taking a photo shoot. That's what I got from it. And a lot of people got into an uproar over it because she's 13 years old and this is a 20-year-old and they're friends, so called. And, he has a shirt off. I didn't see anything sexual with it, but I understood how this could be misconstrued and how this can be taken as, why is this 13-year-old hanging out with this 20-year-old? That's my only problem with it when I found out his age. But I'm just like, why is this 13-year-old hanging with this 20-year-old like this? I'm pretty sure they had other people in there, and I know that the boy is friends with Jaden. So I mean, I don't see the harm in the picture, but that age difference is what probably throwing a lot of people off. Because, Will Smith and Jada, they let their kids do what they want to do, but, and some people not really here for that. Bitch. Some people not really here for that. They more conservative or conventional with their discipline and their kids and all this stuff. They won't let their kids do that. Like, my mama wouldn't let me do no shit like that. Hell no. But it's a new day, it's a new age. People raise their kids differently, and what we may see as, why would you let your kids grow up like that? They can be growing up being free spirits, but also being respectful and knowing what's not to do and what to do, right from wrong, and all that stuff. We just don't see it. We just don't know. All we see is this picture with her laying in this bed with this boy who they're not even touching, and they're not even on the same side. She's in front of him, he's in the back, but the age thing is just throwing me. Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not here to talk about anybody's parenting, you know. And I can understand why people probably feel some type of way about it. 13 years old, why are you friends with okay. Okay. It is what it is. We're going to let that, y'all do what y'all got to do with that one. Um, Child, the Power Rangers is getting a new movie. What? What? Is it gonna be the original Power Rangers and they old as hell? That's the only way I actually go see that shit. Cause y'all remember back in the day when the Power Rangers, go Power Rangers. That was the shit when it first came out with the original people. I don't know about this new age shit. All these shows that's new age, fuck it, you can have it. I don't want it. I can't even get into the new Barneys and shit. Look, back in the day, we used to have damn near every Barney tape there was. And I'm looking in the Barney bag. The eyes, the ends. Bitch, look, I love you, you love me. Come on now. Y'all just don't know. Um, and I say, hey, what a wonderful time today. Arthur was the shit back in the day. These old shit that we grew up on, the original. Not the updated version, the original will always slay, okay? Speaking of new shit that they rebooting, bitch, they are bringing back Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon. Sailor Jupiter. Look, Sailor Moon used to be one of those shows that either, I can't remember when it came on, either way, I think it came on after I came back from school. That'd be one of the shows that I looked at before. Either it came on, whenever it came on, either in the morning before school or right after school. That's what we looked at. That's what we looked at, bitch. Sailor Moon was everything, okay? And if you ain't seen Sailor Moon, it's on YouTube. The whole damn series is on goddamn YouTube. So therefore, check it out. They doing a reboot of it. Speaking of something else, they got a reboot. Look, okay, the Boondocks. The Boondocks is back for the fourth and final season. I have been watching it. I am all caught up. It's okay. It's okay because the original Aaron McGregor, or whatever his name is, the original guy who it was from out here in Chicago, who actually started it and who sure was, and he's not participating in this season. So it's like, how is it gonna go? The first episode was funny as shit to me because it was nothing but fucking shade and playing off of Chris Brown's situation. If y'all didn't see that, that shit was funny as fuck to me. Then the second episode was about Grandpa finding out that he broke and he owed all this money and basically had to rent out the house and make it like a damn project or whatever, and they was living in the garage. That episode, I was kind of looking at it like this. I wasn't really here for it. But then we had the third episode that just came on this past Monday, and it was about, how Huey always trying to make something. He was like a little conspiracy theorist, and look like in one episode, one series, I think in the third season, they called him a little terrorist. So he had this jealous stuff that he made, and he told Grandpa that it wasn't nothing about no bombs or nothing like that. And then come to find out it was some stuff to do a bomb or whatever. But Granddad was going on a date and he ain't had no hair gel, so he went outside to put the stuff on his head because that's what he told him it was some hair gel. And he woke up the next morning and he had some straight hair and a whole bunch of hair and all that stuff. And then they tested it out on Tom and his little girl. Tom was bald headed. Tom had hair. That bitch came in there with that silky stuff. The funniest line to me was when they went to go sell the stuff to like like a little gangster, whatever, underground hair dealers person who was played and voiced by Jennifer Lewis. I know that voice anywhere. When she was checking the stuff out, and then it was like, look at this. This ain't even white bitch straight hair. This is that Cambodian bitch straight hair. I must have died laughing. And they did a whole parody about Breaking Bad with the whole thing. It was cute. I actually liked that little episode. I mean, hopefully the season gets better. I heard it's the last and final season, so. And it's always been strange to me that with Boondocks, it'd be like 2 years before the next season pop up. Boondocks came out when I was in high school. And it's only on season 4. Right. So, some other stuff that actually, y'all, if y'all have not been watching Resurrection, bitch, if you watch Resurrection, tell me what y'all think is going on. How are them people? I was like, where the fuck are all these people coming from? In this one town, everybody just came back. Girl, watch Resurrection. I think the season is on Hulu or whatever, or on ABC7. You can the ABC.com or whatever. You can watch the whole season. I only think it's like 8 episodes or something like that. But the season finale was this past Sunday. Crisis is getting good too. They brought 24 back, y'all. They brought 24 back, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So y'all check that out. It was a 2-hour season premiere. 24 Live Another Day, and child, still the same old 24, same old Jack Bauer and Chloe. Chloe was my favorite because her attitude, she was just, the look on her face. Her face permanently looks just like she want to say, bitch, what? The fuck? That's the look on her face all the damn time. Even if she's smiling, it says, bitch, what? The fuck? That's what it looked like. But, what else? I did catch up on Bring It. I saw the last episode that I didn't see last week. Or I didn't speak about last week. And it was cute. I like the fact that at the end, everybody came together for the little competition and they had the little celebrity judges there. They had Tyler Page there from Hit the Floor. Bitch, it is May. Hit the Floor comes back on, I think, on the 27th or right in that area right before Memorial Day or whatever, bitch. I don't care. Ashley will be watching it. They had John Silver there. I think that's his name because I follow him on Instagram. I was like, he looks familiar. I didn't know he was a dancer too, but I should have known. But all I know is that that's Ashley's boyfriend. Beyonce dancer Ashley. I said, oh, okay, that's how y'all hooked up. Okay, go ahead. But yeah, it was cute. They didn't win the grand prize, but Divas of Olive Oil fucking won that shit, I think. I was like, how the fuck? But okay. The little reunion that they had, it was very refreshing to see an actual reunion go down, and it was enjoyable, it was lighthearted, and it wasn't catty, it wasn't no drama. I mean, they did bring out the coach from Divas of Olive Branch, and she did try to come at Miss Diana about a comment that she said about the girls looking like they had stripper moves and stuff like that. And she tried to bring up Miss Diana past and stuff, saying that with your past, and I thought it was a very hypocritical comment. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't. She took it so out of context, but they kind of shut that down before it grew into anything big. And they were still kind of respectful when they was going back and forth about it. And I like the fact that, they had the little baby dancing dolls came out there, did their little thing. That little one, she is so cute. She ain't gonna have no edges when she grow up. But, I guess sacrifices she made to be a dancing doll, because that ponytail was tight as fuck. And it looked like her hairline was all the way back here. And you wonder why Blue Ivy don't get her help. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me just stop. I ain't even gonna go down there. But it was cute to see the mamas came out there and they little dancing dolls outfit, and they did their little dance too, and then they did the little stand battles against the girls, their daughters and stuff. That was cute. See, it was real nice. And of course, JJ. Who the fuck does JJ have? Who does JJ's hair? It look like, is he mixed with something? Is that his natural texture with some spray on it? Or is that like a whole bottle of gel just plastered, that white gel, plastered on the whole hair, including the ponytail to make it look slick like that? And who the fuck do his hair? Because I want to know. I'm sitting there. Y'all don't know what symmetrical parts are. They all into that asymmetrical shit. Because look at his shit. It's like a fucking maze, the way that they do that stuff. But one no hair sticking up, okay. And I was like, okay, JJ. You know, that was cute. Preacher's Daughter is boring. I wish they just shut that shit off. What else? Mary, Mary, I recorded it. I didn't really want to watch it because the shit was just... They was in Australia. They did their tour. Tina still hollering at Teddy about the whole cheating shit. He talking about, so I did catch this part. I love you. I love the way you're shaped. I love the way your skin feels when I touch it. I love the way you smile. I love this. I don't want no one else but you. Now you don't want nobody else but you, but her, but you know, what happened during the parts when you was fucking around with countless women? Girl, bye. Next week is the season finale for that, and Mitch Solaris is back. Bitch, I can't wait to see that one. I want to see that one and see how that shit turn out. But yeah, it is what it is with that. Anything else I need to talk about before the Mike Epps and Kevin Hart beef? That's what it is. Mike Epps and Kevin Hart. I ain't gonna lie. When Mike Epps came out, what people need to realize is that this whole beef is stupid. They was going back and forth at each other on Twitter. And I think it all started with Mike Epps calling Kevin Hart, you know, overrated. Mind you, they previously had a beef just like this, similar some time ago. But my thing of it is, I feel it's a little bit of jealousy on Mike Epps' part because at this moment it is it's a Kevin Hart world, meaning it's his time to shine. He's shining bright right about now. We don't know how long this is going to last. And it's like everybody has their season when they first come out or when they first catch on, when people start catching on to them, that everybody's going to want a piece of them. Everybody's going to want them on this and this and this. And who's to say if it's going to last or when it's going to die down? But eventually it does. So this is Kevin Hart's season. You know, before Kevin Hart, there was Cat Williams. We was all up on his shit. All of his HBO specials and all of his movies that he was on. Money Mike and all that shit. You know, and before Kevin Hart and before Cat Williams, there was Mike Epps. We was all up on his shit when he came out in Next Friday. And then he was in Friday After Next. And that's when actually Cat Williams came out. But it seemed like when Cat Williams came out, he kind of eclipsed Mike Epps. And then when Kevin Hart came out, in a way, I think that if it wasn't for Kevin Hart's a funny dude, and I am a fan of his, but if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, Cat Williams went through his little struggle in that little down period actually was a way for, you know, Kevin to actually get a little bit bigger, you know, because at that point, Cat Williams was kind of like the big thing a little bit. But, and I'm talking about on the stand-up side of things. But this little feud, like, Mike Epps, you're funny in your movies, but you're not hilarious to me. You really aren't. Like, I seen your little stand-up session, and it was funny to a certain extent, but most of the time I was just sitting there like, okay, where's the laughter? But not to say and not to take away from his talent. He is a good dude. He is a good comedian. But I just hate when I see people going back and forth and they throwing these beef at each other, and then y'all put it on social network, and it's like you're making the fans, it's probably fans of both of y'all want to choose sides, and, you know, it's just stupid. Let him have his time. Mike Epps, you had your time, okay? The last good thing that you were in, that you was trying to show versatility in your acting, was when you was in Sparkle and you was playing old boy that was beating up sister. Bitch, you did that. Now continue on that and get you some more roles. What happened after that? I don't know. Quit worrying about what Kevin Hart is doing and worried about your own career. Yes, he's doing it right now. Congratulate him. Like you said, you claim that you put him on or whatever. Like, bitch, who put you on? I don't see no Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby going at each other like that. I never saw that or heard of that. Never heard of, Eddie Murphy going at it with Martin Lawrence or whatever like that when they was out. I never heard of that. Martin Lawrence going at Chris Tucker or whatever, saying, oh, bitch, I put you on. I never heard anything like that. But you get these, all of a sudden, this little feud. It's like, it's ridiculous. Let Kevin get his shine. We don't know how much he got left in the spotlight, but what he's doing great at it. Let him have it. Congratulate him and move on and go get you a new show. Go get you a new special. Fuck, Cat Williams is coming back. Cat Williams and all his drug problems and slapping bitches up in Target and going to jail and being crazy and all that shit. This motherfucker is coming back with a new HBO special. A new HBO special. Okay? How many of them motherfuckers has he had? Come on now. He doing it. He getting his shit together while you sitting there down talking to other people and acting like a little bitch. Everybody else is moving forward. You still living in the past. Stop it, Mike. You're not making yourself look good. Alright? But anyway, Porsha Williams, somebody take that mic from her. She got beside herself. This is Real Housewives news. The season is over with. I don't know if I'm going to watch the little other stuff because I just don't feel like it sometimes. But I probably will. I'll probably discuss it in this video next week. But the thing of it is, girl, you went out there trying to perform in NYC. I didn't even look at the complete performance before I cut it off. Because it was just, you was doing too much. She came out there like she was a superstar, bitch. Girl, no. You just need to sit down somewhere, okay? Be a studio vocalist and not a performer, or try to be a performer with them gay boys in the background as your gay dancers. And I'm saying that because TMZ unearthed a clip when you was up in the pulpit of somebody's church trying to preach, and you was going off basically saying that gays and lesbians needs to be saved from their ways of the homosexual lifestyle. Really? Do you still feel this way? Because you was really going into it about it. You was, I was like, really, bitch? I ain't never hear you open up your mouth so wide and so loud in a long time. But, bitch, you was very passionate about that. And then to have these queens on the stage behind you, dancing. I guess it's all cool and good when it's working to your benefit. But other than that, we need to be saved. And you live in Atlanta, home of the gays. And yet you were married to her. Let me stop. And speaking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Apollo. If y'all didn't know, see, I saved the best for last. If you didn't know, I don't know why not. You probably was sleeping under a rock. You probably didn't get into Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before Apollo got onto this show, Apollo was arrested for some fraud shit. Then he got out of jail. Him and Phaedra got married and got knocked up. Had one baby one season, had another baby the next season. The third season that he was on here, bitch got fucking arrested for some bank fraud, identity theft, and all that shit. You know how big and bad he was acting on a damn reunion. He knew his ass was going to jail. Porsha knew his ass was going to jail. And we all knew his ass was going to jail. So therefore, he was trying to get his little shine. And, trying to come at Kenya and stuff. Let me be clear. I was not here for the way that he kind of came at Kenya, because it came out of left field and he was doing too much. Him and Porsha was doing too much. But with that little read that Porsha gave Kenya, a lot of people misconstruing what it meant, okay? And I caught on to that, and I'm so glad that I heard Rock say it up in her video too when she was talking about it too. I caught on to what it meant. Yes, it was harsh as hell. It really was. She really went for the fucking jugular. But what she was saying, she wasn't coming for Kenya and what the fact that she so-called can't have kids, because that's not the case. She has difficulties, but I don't think she can't have kids. She was coming at her because, you know, Kenya like to say, oh, Apollo is a criminal and Apollo is this and all that. So the way that you coming at her, talking about her husband, your baby daddy, you getting him from a sperm bank, or whoever the fuck it is that you may give it to, you just don't know if your baby daddy might come out to be just as worse, be a criminal too, or even worse than Apollo. You never know. That's what the rig was about. But it still was kind of bad. It still was kind of bad. You know, it was a little bit deserved, but they sat on that couch and they demolished her. And, you know, it was kind of harsh. I was sitting here like, oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all went in. But, Apollo. And you can't say, oh, look who's laughing now. Kenya got the last laugh or whatever, because Apollo going to jail. He pleaded guilty earlier this week to those charges of bank fraud, identity theft, and all that shit that he was charged with. He pleaded guilty. He gets sentenced, I think, July 8th, and it's a possibility, you know, he can get up to 30 years imprisonment. Here's my thing. We all saw this coming. So it ain't no joke to nobody but Apollo and them. We saw this coming. Everybody saw this coming. And hey, you do the crime, do the fucking time. And there was no way he was going to get out of this shit because there was too much evidence against him. Now, Phaedra, you better hope that your ass don't get caught up and they don't find no shit and connect the dots and put your ass in it, because you cannot sit here and tell me that Phaedra did not know what the fuck was going on. After that girl, what is her name? Angela Stanton, the way that she was detailing all this shit about the previous operation that put Paulo into jail and how Phaedra was part of it, bitch, I believe that shit. She's a goddamn lawyer. Lying ass. I believe that shit. I really do. But, we not surprised. Y'all just wanted me to mention it. We not fucking surprised that he is going to jail. And I hope somebody did say, what if he don't go to jail because of his celebrity? Bitch, he ain't that much of a celebrity. And I think he's supposed to pay back $2.3 to $4.6 million. They paid. Well, Phaedra's paid, but come on now. I don't think it's that much. And hell, I won't put my money out there for him. Fuck that. You did all this shit, bitch. Unless she guilty and she took part of it. But, do the crime. Be prepared to do the fucking time with it. There you go. No one has the last laugh in this, okay? The only person that, it ain't no Kenya versus no Phaedra. It ain't no Kenya versus no Apollo. Kenya ain't got the last laugh because we already knew this shit was going on. The person that got the last laugh is the judge who will be sentencing that motherfucker, okay? That's who got the last laugh in this shit. And the victims, okay? That's who it is. It is what it is. I hope they get their shit together. Go ahead and get the divorce papers ready, Phaedra, because we know you already got them. But that's the end of this video. I will see y'all later, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Be kind to her. And don't just be kind to her on today. Be kind to her for the rest of your days, okay? Don't just use this one day to be, oh, you're the love of my life, and I appreciate you so much for this, and I do this, and then next on Monday you just go back to treating her like shit. Don't do that. I hate that shit. You know, this the woman that gave birth to you because she didn't have to. Go ahead and treat her like a queen if she deserves that shit for the rest of your days. Okay? Y'all be safe. If it's a birthday this weekend or this week, happy birthday to y'all. Have a good time. The weather's been acting right. Bitch, yesterday was 86 degrees out here. Bitch, and it's like 80-something today. Yes. Y'all be safe. Especially out here in Chicago. All these killings, child. I just want to sit here and wonder how many gonna die this weekend or how many gonna get shot this weekend, because you know it's coming in multiples all the time. But once again, be safe, have fun, enjoy your holiday, and be easy. Peace.